Okay. Okay. Gonna watch Blender 4.4 from the like official Blender channel. What is this?
The Blender developers recently finished up a project called the Winter of Quality.
Okay, I hope everything is everything works. Everything works. Let me check. Gonna just move my tomorrow stream to like a little bit later because I don't want this bullshit tomorrow. Okay.
Where they spent time fixing bugs and
Gonna just move my tomorrow stream to like a little bit later because I don't want this bullshit tomorrow. Okay.
where they spent time fixing bugs.
Okay, everything works. Nice. They're releasing a new Blender. I will bet on new Easter egg where if you move a model incorrectly, it crashes and corrupts your data. Oh, that would be cool. Wait, why did I close it? Maybe the video is going down, but the sound is here. You will hear my music, people. Okay, come on. Come on, work. Oh, I'm so moving tomorrow's stream. I'm so moving it. Boris, I don't think I can move it. No. Okay. Will it work? Will it not? Who knows? At this point. Start. Restart. Does it work? Eh. Anything? Chat? No! Why did you die, chat? No! Give me back, chat. Just craft. I swear to God, give me back my chat. Yeah! Okay. Let this video day and everything will be okay tomorrow. Okay. Sacrifice. I will sacrifice today's stream for the best stream tomorrow. Mark my words. Yeah, there we go. Let's go. Blender 4.4.
Improving overall code quality. In total, in a 2-month span, they fixed over 500 issues, including some pretty big, important, long-standing ones. But even though a lot of the focus recently has been on fixing bugs, we still have some cool new features to explore in Blender 4.4, which just dropped today.
New Blender feature. It affects programs beyond Blender now, even across time. That'd be cool. Look, they have flow now.
I'm Jonathan Lampel from cgcookie.com, and in this video, we're going to explore everything that's new in Blender 4.4. In the modeling section, the tries to quads operator has a new topology influence setting that prioritizes even grids, combined with...
I'm sorry, what? Sorry, what it is? I'm sorry?
4.4. In the modeling section, the tries to quads operator has a new topology influence
Uh-huh.
setting that prioritizes even grids.
Okay.
Combined with the existing settings, it allows you to get significantly better results. There's also a new
Okay.
operator to select vertices by edge count, so you can easily find and select poles.
Mm-hmm.
The hotkey L to select linked under the mouse now works in the new curve edit mode. Fun
Oh,
fact, you can
nice,
also
nice.
deselect linked in any edit mode with Shift L. I didn't know that one. The
Shift L.
UV editor now uses
Okay, I will rewatch it and I will try that one. Shift L. Okay.
the hotkeys Control C and Control V for copy and pasting UVs, which makes
What?
linked in any edit mode with Shift L. I didn't know that one.
What? I'm
The
sorry?
UV editor now uses the hotkeys Control C and Control V for copy and pasting UVs, which makes sense.
Okay, I'm thinking that you actually could do that, but what?
Any edit mode with Shift L. I didn't know that one. The UV editor now uses the hotkeys Control C and Control V for copy and pasting UVs, which
Damn.
makes sense. The
Damn.
status bar now displays a helpful warning when the active object has a
Uh-huh.
non-uniform or negative scale.
Uh-huh.
There's also now a warning when the scale or rotation transform is set to only affect location and has no effect. The default front color for the face orientation overlay has been changed to transparent, so you'll now only see red for the back face.
Oh, I used that one, yeah. To check for flip normals. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, alright. Alright. That makes sense. Witchcraft. Come on. Blender are like they're releasing cool updates for the last couple of years. Come on. Don't be too harsh on them.
If you liked seeing the
Oh,
blue,
you
then you can
can
always
change
change
that.
that back
Okay.
in preferences.
Okay.
The mesh indices overlay setting is now always visible to everybody, not just developers, and the numbers are also now more readable. The
I
knife
don't
tool
know what is
overlay
this.
now uses the same theme color as the other gizmos.
Mm-hmm.
In sculpt mode, a new brush type called plane replaces the flatten, fill, and scrape brushes. You get all of the same functionality, now with much more customizability. You'll still have all of the
Oh.
same brush presets, they're just using this new brush type under the hood. The
Ah,
cloth
okay.
brushes now have the persistent option off by
Mm-hmm.
default, which should make them
Hey, hello, what a wonderful stream. How is Blend treating you? Pretty good. Internet is as you can see, but I don't think this stream will stay, but you know, going I I started, I choked on my own spit. Nah, that's okay. I just started. So yeah, watching new things for in modeling section was pretty small. Uh I think sculpting is also gonna be small. I think they added a lot for animation, geometry nodes, and grease pencil. Oh, I need to pause in user interface. Okay,
feel a little more stable. And the
excited
grab
for
cloth
grease
brushes
pencil
now
one.
use the local simulation area type by default because it works a bit better with symmetry.
Uh huh. Animation.
Now, there's
Okay.
some big animation news, but I want you to hear it straight from the rigging and animation expert himself, Wayne Dixon.
Thanks, Jonathan. So here are
Hello.
the things I want to talk about today. There are 4 things to do with animation and then 2 to do
Let's hope it will be okay. Nah, it's gonna be my sacrifice to like to streaming gods. So I will sacrifice this stream so tomorrow's stream is gonna be alright. Yeah, makes sense?
with rigging. The first one
That's a pro gamer move.
with animation is going to make a lot of people happy. So
Uh-huh.
let's go.
Let's go.
In older versions of Blender, if you had a crane animation interacting with another box,
Mm-hmm.
the crane would have its own animation action, and the
Right.
box would also have a separate animation
Right.
action. But in Blender 4.4, the actions are now slotted, which means you can have an action that contains the animation for both the crane and the box at the same time. I've already set this one up, and you can see that the box animation is stored in a slot over here called box animation, and the crane animation is stored in the crane animation slot. The amazing thing is the animation for multiple objects can live inside a single action. Awesome. So how do we set
Okay.
this up?
Makes
Let's say
sense.
I wanted to add some animation to this
Yeah,
box
makes
thing
sense.
here, and I want to include it
See?
in the existing action. Well, you don't just hit the button here because
Uh-huh.
that's going to create a new action for just that object. So let's undo that. Before you start animating, you want to assign that existing action to the object. That's the trick. Then we can create a new slot for that animation to live. So we'll click the new slot button. And now when we animate the box, all of that data is inside the same action. Whee! I'm pretty good at animation. So what if you wanted to include all of your animation inside the same action, except you accidentally went ahead and animated this box in its own separate action all by itself? Well, the developers have thought of that. Let's select our lonely box first, and then shift select any of the other objects that already have the action that we want to merge into. And then in the action menu here, we can choose the merge
animation.
operator. Now you'll see our box animation isn't so lonely anymore. If you wanted to
Oh,
separate your
that's
actions, you
nice.
have two options. You
That's
can
nice.
separate
That's
just
nice.
the selected slots. So if you click this one, it's going to move whatever slots you have selected into a new action. Or if you wanted to separate all of your slots at once, you can choose this separate slots. That's going to create a new single slotted action for each object. So now everyone can be equally lonely. The pose library has had a little bit of love. Firstly, you can create a new pose right from the menu up here. You can also specify which library you want to put it in. That's awesome. And when you right click on any of your poses, you've got three new options. You've got adjust, modify, and delete. Use adjust if you want to
haven't
any
used
of the existing channels for that pose. Under modify, you can replace all of the existing channels, or
I haven't used pose library, but at some point I will.
add or remove selected bones to that existing pose. And there is now also a way to delete the pose from the right click menu. If you're using the noise modifier in Blender 4.4, you'll notice that it's looking a little bit different. And that is because the algorithm has been updated to fix a bug. This change has given us two new settings: lacronarity.
It is nice. I do wonder though, can you animate in the wrong layer now? Oh, the nature will find a way. Nature will find a way, my guy. There is, like, people can build planes, they can build ships, they can even go to the space, but using the wrong layer is always an option. That's gonna be our downfall, our Babylon Tower. That was a good tower.
Or however you say it, is related to the gap between the noise bumps. The higher the number, the bigger the gaps. And the roughness is how smooth those noise bumps are.
I don't even know
really
what is
see
this.
the effect this has if you increase the depth of your curve. It's just worth noting that your noise modifier is going to act a little bit differently moving forward. However, if you want the old legacy noise, you can just click this toggle button here. Animation playback is up to 15% faster for meshes that have custom normals. I'll take that. When rigging, now when you symmetrize bones,
Okay,
you
rigging.
can also symmetrize the bone collections. That is flippin' awesome. Incomplete or broken constraints now no longer draw the relationship line to the world origin. That's going to keep your broken constraints looking nice and tidy. So that's all the animation and the rigging stuff that I want to talk about. Now I'm going to pass over to Harry to talk about
thank you. Thank you. Geometry nodes. Okay.
Well, after 4.3's whirlwind of geometry node newness, 4.4's updates are tighter and neater, focusing mostly on the little big things we use every day. But there are some new nodes, the first of which is find in string.
Actually, geometry nodes are like, they're awesome. You can do a lot of cool things with that. Like, the things you can't sculpt or like model on your own. So geometry nodes are really cool with like that. But I need to also learn them because like I only learning right now shading nodes, and it's like a different dimension. And now I'm trying to learn geometry nodes because it's a great tool.
With this node, we can now search a string for another string, finding the index of the first occurrence.
See, that this is where like math and like programming comes into the play because compared to like shader nodes, geometry nodes they have a lot of like math things and programmer things, which makes sense, but if you're not familiar, it's kind of hard to learn. So just gonna watch tutorials and repeat after the people who knows how. So yeah.
It also outputs a count of the number of times that string occurs. This means we can now split strings in much more advanced ways. Useful for when we are creating text geometry, but also for using strings as an input method for geometry nodes. Next, it's the normal input node, which now outputs proper face corner normals instead of just face normals like it did before. So yes, this is the new normal.
Wow.
But you can turn the old functionality back on in the sidebar, and old files will automatically have this switched on. Oh, and node widths now snap if you're snapping, which is not only great for keeping things tidy, but surprisingly good for stress, too.
Oh, that's nice.
This is one of 4.4's minor but mighty quality of life improvements. Some nodes are now showing us more information than they did before by graying out all the inputs that don't affect the output. And conversely,
as you can see,
now
it's
see a
kind
lot
of, yeah,
less if we want to, because group panels can be nested,
hard
helping us
to
focus
understand
on
by
only the
yourself.
things we want to change. The constant input node family is already relatively large, but up until now, a couple of members have been missing. So the arrival of the object and collection input nodes has been welcomed with open arms.
Oh, big family.
These, like their longer-standing siblings, are unassuming but incredibly
Object
convenient,
and collection.
allowing
Okay.
the same object or collection to be used by multiple nodes at once. Next, we have the warning node, which now has a dynamic label depending on the warning, warning you which warning it's warning you of. And the limit
Damn.
surface option from the subdivision surface modifier is now available on the subdivision surface node, allowing us to place our vertices at their theoretical position on an infinitely subdivided mesh. Both the join and realize instances nodes no longer remove the vertex groups of attributes. Instead, they have both agreed that they will preserve and respect an attribute's vertex group status.
I don't
And
understand
finally, we come to
anything.
performance improvements, the contenders this time being sort elements and the triangulate node.
Okay, I don't
Bmesh to
understand
mesh
geometry
now gives
nodes.
a 30 to 100 times performance improvement.
Damn.
Beauty.
Warning.
And
There
that
is a
the key
warning.
with geometry nodes in Blender 4.4.
Внимание, спасибо за внимание.
Hey
Grease
everyone,
pencil,
Paul
okay.
here to tell you about some of the grease pencil features that you're going
Come on.
to find in Blender 4.4. Let's check them out. Grease Pencil 3.0 made its debut in the previous version of Blender, but was not yet fully featured.
Yeah.
In Blender 4.4, we will see the reintegration of
なるほど. Doesn't understand なるほど at all. Yeah, that's me. なるほど.
some legacy tools
Okay.
that will improve
Grease
your
pencil.
workflow.
Okay.
The menu for stroke placement was merely a placeholder in 4.3.
What? The cake was a lie?
As you can see, it wasn't exactly functional.
I was played like a cheap kazoo.
But now,
Tell me more lies, 3D Magic Man.
these stroke placements have been reactivated, so you can control how your strokes are placed when working in 3D.
Okay, I will try that.
Space. Auto-locking inactive layers means that you'll only affect the layer you're working on. If a group is locked, but the layers inside are unlocked, it will still prevent you from working on those layers.
Ooh, Ooh, this function needs in like every art program. Lock all layers you're not working on. Ooh, boy.
This function will only work on layers and not groups.
Okay.
Selecting specific parts of a drawing to sculpt is very useful. Sculpt mode auto-masking allows you to isolate areas of focus according to stroke, layers, materials, or a combination of these filters. This makes workflows so much faster as you don't have to consider things like auto-locking or what layers assets might be on.
Okay.
In draw mode,
Oh.
holding down Ctrl and Alt while right-clicking
Uh-huh.
enables the lasso box erase tool. You can simply draw a lasso around the area you wish to erase, then simply release. Often when you're working on a storyboard or animation, you'll be copying and pasting a lot of layers onto new keyframes and just tweaking one or two details. The paste by layer function allows you to copy all of the layer information and paste it to a new keyframe all at once and retain each shape and stroke on the correct layer.
I yet to test, like I yet to understand animation in Blender. I tried a couple of times. I understand kind of how it works, but I didn't make anything in it. So yeah.
Simplify function under the points menu now includes fixed, adaptive, sample, and merge as functions to simplify a stroke.
I am having a stroke.
Set start point is functional again in edit mode. This is very useful for tools such as the build effect.
What? I'm sorry, what was that?
Set start point is functional again in edit mode. This is very useful for tools such as the build effect, where an enclosed shape starts isn't always ideal, and so having the option to select exactly where you want that curve to start drawing on from is very useful.
What is this? What the fuck is this witchcraft? What is this?
Enclosed shaped starts isn't always ideal, and so having the option to select exactly where you want that curve to start drawing on from is very useful. Invisible layers
Ooh,
on a
this one.
pencil object that needed a geometry node setup were problematic.
So I think it was like an add-on that you can add to your Blender, and you can turn grease pencil into like clay animation or something. I didn't have time to like look into it.
Problematic previously, but now making any layer invisible will be taken into account by your geometry node tree.
Thanks, Paul. When it comes to rendering, the
Okay.
NVIDIA Optics Denoiser was upgraded, and the results are pretty significantly improved when it comes to color accuracy, smooth surfaces, subsurface scattering,
Whoa.
and depth of field. It does have a slightly harder time with some features, but overall, it's a big step up. The blue noise sampling pattern can now be properly distributed when
Okay,
rendering
it's 4
frames across
cycles.
multiple machines. The OSL shader scripting in Blender got some improvements to better align with
Okay, that's cycles. Eevee, please, Eevee, want Eevee.
the Material X standard. Texture baking using selected to active is now significantly faster in some cases thanks to multi-threading the geometry matching. When it comes to rendering the viewport, the overlays have been completely rewritten. You shouldn't be able to tell much difference beyond improved performance, but you might be able to notice that the origins are being drawn on top of edit mode now. There's better X-ray shading for objects set to display in front. Wires in wireframe view and in edit mode are now displayed even when the overlays are off, and curves now use the wire color option in the shading popover.
Oh.
The Vulkan experimental backend for rendering the viewport and Eevee, which is off by default because it doesn't yet support all of Blender's features.
Do you guys know anything about Vulkan? Like display graphics? Because some games are asking you if you're gonna use direct DirectX 11 or like Vulkan. Is it like a new thing or something? I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not equipped with knowledge in this field. Is it like just like another option, but technically the same, or is it gonna be like a new thing in the future?
Received a big boost in both stability.
I only know that I know nothing. I salute to you, the bravest soldier of them all. Socrates. Okay.
And performance. Here you can see that the initial startup time for large scenes has
Pongel, cold start. Okay. I don't understand anything, but the numbers are lower.
has been dramatically improved compared to the current OpenGL backend. It's also
Okay.
now used for displaying the result of cycles, though the performance there is the same.
Good for
Over in the
you.
compositor,
Okay, come.
the glare node has been changed to give artists more control over the results. New outputs help visualize the glare. The
Yes!
smoothness value helps blend the glare so that the hot
Yes!
spots have a nicer roll.
Yes! Nice. 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 Glare. The updated glare. Nice. I miss the days of old Bloom. But here it is.
Roll off.
Resurrected.
You can set a maximum input value now so that one really bright light source doesn't dominate the entire scene. The
Huh.
new strength option combined with the new outputs replaces the previous and weird to use mix value. Also,
Yes.
now you can choose how much of the original input color gets used and define a custom color to tint the output with. Lastly, the fog glow and bloom sizes were corrected and are
Huh.
now relative to the image size. So your renders should look more consistent when you bump up or down the resolution. The wrapping option in the translate node has been changed to repeat and now works like you would expect when overlaying on a larger image. This same option will come to all transform nodes soon, but is just on the translate node for now. You can now specify the quality of denoise nodes. By default, it uses the setting in the render performance panel for faster results when previewing and higher quality when rendered. Just be aware
Okay,
that the
that's for
compositing
cycles
node still
again.
uses the CPU for now, so it's going to be much faster to instead use the render denoising when you can.
The last time I used cycles was for my knock thumbnail. Like the last part, like with the bed, it was made in cycles, not in Eevee. I don't know why I decided to make in cycles. I think because of the like metal material or something, and it was rendering for like 1 hour or something like that. And it's a little image, and there's nothing like drastically happening. I still edited it in like Photoshop, so
In the video sequence,
cycles are cool, but as society, we should already be like photorealistic rendering. Leave it to like what is it? What's it called? Da Vinci? I don't remember.
sequence editor, text strips can
We
now be
do-
edited directly in the preview area. Just hit tab to edit. A bunch of other text strip improvements were added, like
Yeah, if you didn't know, you can edit video in Blender. You can fucking do anything in Blender.
better
You can draw, you can model, you can texture, you can compose, you can render, you can make a fucking video. Why not? Why not?
alignment, rounded background corners, faster rendering, and reorganized properties. Retiming keys can now be snapped and be snapped too. You can now use Shift
For free, by the way.
to Shift-D to duplicate elements right in the preview area. Building proxies for image sequences is now up to 30% faster and has been fixed for HDR content, and playback of HDR content is 2.5 times faster now. Curves, hue correct, and white balance modifiers are up to 2 times faster now, and many other effects have been sped up as well. The YUV to RGB conversion for imported clips is more accurate now. Blender now respects the file's rotation metadata for those who rotate videos and images with their file browser. Copying strips that have effect strips now also copies the effects instead of just flashing a warning. There's a lot
Ooh.
of miscellaneous stuff in the interface category,
Yeah.
and it all adds up to Blender looking and feeling better than ever. The asset browser can now sort by catalog, the previews render faster, and there's a new operator to remove an asset's preview image. And for you brave souls using a light theme, the text should be easier to read in the asset shelf. You can now lock the rotation of the 3D viewport if you have it set exactly where you want, and you don't want to bump it accidentally.
I most of the time for a lot of programs, I use like whatever is default. Like if the program has a default light mode, I use light mode. If it's default dark mode, I use dark mode. I'm like, thanks for deciding for me. Oh, dear God, it's going frame by frame on here. Is your stream all good? Nope, it's not. I know. Yeah, it's again the same problem with internet, but I will not keep this stream, so this is gonna be an archive stream, just saying my thoughts to you guys, because I don't have anyone to hype about Blender. So there I go. Like the audio I think is better, but yeah. Video doesn't matter. Video doesn't matter. We are sacrificing frames for the next stream. Yeah, because tomorrow's stream I will move more to like nighttime. We will wait while when my neighbors will fall asleep and not eat my internet. I live in this attic for what? For them to like steal my internet? This has been happening more and more lately. I have been seeing a bunch of people have similar problems. Go, what's going on? No, I think my problem is that someone on the street in this house is eating my internet. Probably Mothman watching his like Netflix movies or something, or like playing Overwatch. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Heads up, tomorrow's I will write that on my accounts that tomorrow's stream is gonna be like postponed to like 2-3 hours later. Yeah, so there will be no awkward waiting like the last time. Okay? And yeah, I really want to, as a side note, why I want to play it at night and not in the morning like I always do. I don't have an answer really, but I just feel like that game, Do No Harm, it just feels more appropriate to play at night, evening, you know, than at the daylight. It's like Lovecraftian horror Papers, Please. So, yeah. Okay, let's go.
Menu accelerators.
Oh, by the way, about Blender theme, there is like on official website, there is a free add-on, free theme. You can download themes for your Blender, and there is a theme, like absolutely atrocious theme. I think that's how it's called, and it's like the colors are all over the place. It's amazing. I will show you that. It's a nighttime activity. Cthulhu does not appreciate sunlight. Yeah, that's right.
kidding. There's no way I'm
By the way, about Cthulhu, there is gonna be the Sinking City 2. Let's go!
using this light theme for the rest of the video. Menu accelerators, which are the little automatically underlined letters in menu.
Everything is... Wait for me, everyone. Where are you all updating? Going...
Use
Look
which
at-
indicate what letters you can press to quickly choose that item. Now work with toggles like those in the View menu.
Uh-huh.
Full file names are now shown in tooltips, even if they're really long. Transform cursors and the little frame count cursors are now more readable. The material icon was flipped horizontally to make it stand out more from the world icon. Preview icons like those in the material and other lists now show
The...
cursors
This
are
one.
now more readable. The
This one is like that meme with Japanese flag. Like, they changed it.
material icon was flipped horizontally to make it stand out more from the world icon.
Okay.
Preview icons like those in the material and other lists now show a little loading icon while loading or rendering. In menus without text, they now show a slight background. Apparently, you could already use trackpad gestures to adjust value sliders, just 3 fingers and slide, but now you can do the same in color pickers. Lots more operators got improved.
I don't know who will use trackpad for Blender. It's... I don't know, some form of masochism, I think. No words for that.
Status bar hotkey hints.
Uh-huh.
Also in the status bar, there's a new info pop-up when hiding objects.
Uh-huh.
Viewport render animation
Wasn't it already there?
and now shows a progress bar. The backspace hotkey for resetting properties to their defaults did not work with every property, and that's been fixed for a bunch of them. In the image and movie clip editors, the current frame indicator now matches the other animation editors a bit better. Adjusting and splitting editors now has a really nice snapping effect. Over in the node editors, the sidebar can now be made transparent like in the 3D view, which means your nodes no longer jump around when toggling it open and closed. Panels and node groups can now be nested, and that's reflected in the geometry nodes modifiers.
The hell, use trackpad in general. Mothers? No? Your parents? No? They're the one to like... No? Older people? They really like to use trackpad. I remember one of my teachers liked to use trackpad. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop turning it. She was like, I think she was turning it on my computer every time. I'm like, stop! The god gave you the mouse! Little thing, please use it. God. Very true though. She literally got a mouse next to her. No, you're using trackpad. Like, it's some kind of like, how does it call? What is it called? Oh yeah, привычка. From using your phone. I don't know, but mouse was created before phone, like screen. What the hell? Okay. Why am I work after what? Oh yeah, I hate trackpad. It's always like turned off on my computer. I only turn it on if my mouse like battery dies, and I'm like. Speaking of teachers, I remember my programming teacher almost ripped the screen off my laptop. What? Why? He was that like, was they so angry? Or like, damn. Hey, hi. Welcome. Don't mind me being silly. Talking about Blender and things. Yeah. Don't tell anyone that's how I live.
Also, the border highlight in the panels has been fixed, and any inputs that don't affect the output are now grayed out.
Okay, I
You
don't
can also now drag and drop
understand.
colors into the node editor.
I don't know
Over in
this.
the outliner, you could already use shift-click to affect all children, or use control-click to...
Can you make 3D model? I don't know, can I? Can I make 3D model? This model I made. Like, you can check out my channel, and yeah, I stream how I make 3D models. Can I? I don't know. Can I? I'm asking myself that every day.
Solo for collections, but it didn't work with the enable disable checkbox. Now it does. The actual
Okay.
collection name is now a bit brighter than the other collections.
Okay.
The sample color operator in texture paint mode, which has the hotkey Shift X, got a new hotkey Shift Control X to sample the merged color. Tooltips can now show while animation is playing, and got another round of polish. NDOF 3D mouse input has been improved.
Reflections. Ew.
On Windows, you can now copy file paths into the image editor so that you can use the file browser's copy command.
Ha!
On Mac, you can search
What?
NDOF 3D mouse input.
What you
has
just
been
did?
improved. On Windows, you can now copy file paths into the image editor so that you can use the file browser's copy command.
That's big. That's big. That's cool. That's cool. Because Blender's like directory works in a strange ways. Like in a strange way sometimes. So okay, it's faster. It's faster because sometimes it remembers where you were like the last time. And sometimes it's like, I'm going to default. She was like, okay, what do you got there? And grabbed the screen with her nails, almost scratching the screen and bending it forcefully further than it should be bending, just so it doesn't have to get. Ooh. No! I hate when they do that! No! No! No, no, no. I hate when they do that. And when they, when they want to point something at your screen and they place like a finger on it. Ah! No, you're telling me some nightmares.
On Mac, you can search for hotkeys using the native key names like Command. Also, blend files now have previews in Finder, App Expose, and Spotlight.
Nice.
On both Mac and Windows, title bars now use the theme header color and can blend right in. And lastly, a big win for Python devs. In the add-on preferences, there's now a button that takes you right to the add-ons folder. Speaking of Python, there are always a number of change notes, but one that do everything.
I don't know anything about. Okay, export.
Open.
Yeah, she was like that. Ugh. Cringe.
Color IO, Material X, and more. So even if you're not a developer, this means more powerful add-ons could be heading your way.
Okay,
when it comes to importing and exporting, videos can now be rendered using the H.265 HEVC codec, which is better for both quality and compression. And rendered videos are now explicitly set to the BT709 color space, so they automatically display properly in more apps.
Okay.
The render audio operator can now render to the AAC format, and when using the Matroska or OGG format, it can use the Opus audio codec.
Okay.
EXR images that use the DWAA or DWAB compression codec now have a quality setting. Autosave and quit.blend files are now always saved with compression. USD can now export animated volumes. Material displacement now works with the USD preview surface. Importing USD point instancers now respects animated attributes. The experimental instancing option now works for object hierarchies and non-mesh objects. Python hooks were added so developers can easily call custom functions on imported prims, materials, and textures. The import options merge parent transform and apply unit conversion scale were added, and the export options merge parent transform, units, and meters per unit were added as well. In USD and Alembic, mesh edge and vertex creases now map more accurately to Blender's subdivision surfaces.
Okay.
GLTF
You're...
in Blender received
I like your magic. I like your funny words, Magic Man.
hundreds of bug fixes that we don't have time to mention here. And a lot of the time for this release went to fixing bugs. So this is a great first release of 2025 and worth upgrading to. You can get it today from blender.org. And don't forget to support the development fund while you're there. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day and happy blending.
Yeah. Okay.
This is
Ah!
Blender, open source 3D software that can be used to make
What?
animations, visual
No!
effects, game
Stop!
assets, or practically anything 3D. And best of all,
Whew. Knowledge. No! Okay. Nice. Okay, can I? Will it break my previous file? That's the question. Uh-oh. 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 Why you're not opening? Huh? Why you crashed? No, 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 no. Don't, no. You're not supposed to break. Blender. Okay, you must. It's not. It's no, no, not supposed to break. Whew. Okay, it works. Rendering mode? Can I? Okay, maybe it doesn't like that I use Varudo. Maybe Blender doesn't like it. Okay, I will show you like the theme add-on. No. Station add-ons. Themes. Dark genuinely disgusting. Look at this. Browser. Look at this. It's so ugly. Genuinely disgusting. A truly atrocious Blender interface. Rating 5 stars. What's new? What's new? Made the shader editor even uglier. I love Blender community. No. Awful. Dark purple green. I wanted to download like some new perhaps, but control. But I'm so used to like the default now that I'm afraid I will. Yeah. Alien pink. So retro. The fuck? Oh, there we go. 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 Retro. I mean, if you want to make a screenshot of your like workflow in Blender, Oh, preview your model. I think it's great for that. Cruelty Squad type blender. Yeah. Just like old Windows or Winamp themes. Is it colors? Blender crashed. Yeah, it crashed. I think because my my processor is like, why are you opening so many programs? Retrosonic included. Nah, he's not included. They are sold separately and you need to buy batteries. Cruelty Squad, yeah. Whatever program there is, if it like supports themes, there always gonna be Eclipse one. Named Eclipse. No. What? Yeah. Zoinks. I will download it. By the way, new game from the Cruelty Squad developer is less than a week away. Oh, that's nice. But I haven't experienced Cruelty Squad. I haven't played it. I haven't watched playthrough. I was a little busy. Yeah. So I'm yet to experience it. But I don't think they're gonna be any less tame. So. Okay. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Can we move here? Where am I? Where am I? Ah, oh my god. One second. One more. Hit. Okay. I'm here. Yeah. Cruelty Squad is experience. You need to get used to everything looking like asset adventure, and then you can enjoy your wild tactical corporate assassin simulator. I heard it's like fucked up in some kind of way, but you know, was it made by a Finnish guy from Finland? If I remember correctly, that game is from Finland, right? Man, I wish I understood how to export. I wish they actually made, like, for Varadol and VC Face, like, I wish they made importing like your own assets easier, because I'm so fucking tired of Unity. Mother of God, if I'm gonna open Unity one more time and like rig something. Every strange game is Finnish or Swedish. I think so. Yeah, it's from Finland, and I remember there was a picture like, what the fuck is going on in Finland? And it's like Fear and Hunger, Cruelty Squad, and Linux. So, what the fuck is going on in Finland? But yeah, anyway. Hey, what? The fuck was that? Oh, it's like from... Okay. Whee! No, it's not working. Fireworks! Wah! It's so bad! Yeah, okay. Vision star. Headlight. Whee! Okay. Fuck, I'm getting distracted. Oh my god! Ah! That, yeah. Yeah, it's made by a Swedish artist. He's not quite a star, I think. Just left an Albert West and fake grenades on a chair. His piece of art. Finished. Yeah. Okay. That's an interesting... I think there's a story behind it. Finland artist. Okay. But hey, it's a little short stream, lag stream. But I think it's okay because of the stream from yesterday, I've got really upset about it, and now I thought like I should make a bad stream like on purpose, so I won't be so uptight about my streams, you know. Yeah. So this one is a little silly, a little yeah, but thanks for visiting me. I'm alright. Tomorrow I will play Do No Harm. I played demo of this game, and I usually don't like management games, but I really got into it. And when the demo like ended, I was like, what? I want more. And yeah. Also, there's like yesterday the game roguelike Hades like game was released, and I don't know if I should buy it. Yeah. Yapping. But yeah, anyway, thank you for visiting. Have a great day, have a great night, have a great morning. I'm gonna eat some corn or something. But yeah, for now, Argus out.